Hi everybody, this is Miss Barb from the Imagination Emporium, and I've finally finished my Casablanca storybook. This really isn't a mini book. It's made with a romance novel paper, and it really has a story behind this, and I'm going to make a quick attempt, because you know my videos are not really that long, at telling you a little bit about this story. Casablanca was a movie that was set in unoccupied Africa during the early days of the Second World War, and the American expatriate meets a former lover with unforeseen complications. Rick Blaine met Ilsa Lund in Paris. They had had a steamy love affair, but Ilsa was married to a French resistance fighter. She didn't tell Rick until he was ready to leave, so he just left in a hurry, got out of Paris, and then finally wound up in Casablanca and opened up Rick's American Bar in Casablanca. This is a place where spies, Nazis, and French resistance gathered to avoid the German invasions of Paris. And as the story progresses, Ilsa and husband Victor Laszlo, a Czech resistance fighter, enter the story. Rick sees Ilsa, and the star-crossed lovers are reunited, but Elsa's husband is now in the picture. Rick is torn between his love for Elsa and his desire to help Victor and Elsa to escape the Nazis. He makes arrangements for them to get out of Casablanca. The movie ends as the star-crossed lovers part. This film has some of the great characters of our time: Claude Rains, Sidney Greenstreet, and Paul Heinried, to name a few. This is a must-see old classic film. I think would be enjoyed even today by the younger group of peoples. Now I'll show you a little bit about my album, and it kind of follows through with the theme. And I have down here, inside of here, Casablanca. This is an unforgettable love story, and I thought that the romance papers were very appropriate. Over here, I have the name. Well, let's see if I can get a better picture of that. Okay. As Time Goes By. That was the name of the song that was featured in the movie. And, of course, I just got a few little things in here to kind of make the album a little bit more interesting. But really, the main thing about this album is just to tell the story of Casablanca. And here's a picture I got off of the internet of Rick and Ilsa. This was Paris, 1941, when they started their love affair. And this is an old saying from the movie, "We'll always have Paris," and so I put that in there. This is the type story that I just told you about, and down here was the beginning. That's the way the movie began, in Casablanca. And of course, this was Film Noir, filmed in black and white. And then on this side, I just have another little page for, whatever, just to make it interesting. And right down here, this is Morocco, 1942. And this is a picture of Rick's American Cafe. And I think this is the picture of Paul Heinried and Ilsa and Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, and Paul Heinried and oh my gosh, forgot her name. I'll think of it. I guess I'm getting old. But anyhow, that is the scene mostly of the story. Inside Rick's Cafe, there's a lot of intrigue, a lot of conspiring to get out of the country by a lot of expatriates that are escaping the Nazis. It's a very interesting story, but it's much too long to do here on a video. This is the one of the famous scenes. Play it again, Sam. And Rick comes up to the piano player and says, "I thought I told you never to play that song." Then he looks over and he spies Ilsa. And of course, the sparks are still there. So that was what this was about. And on this side, and this was indeed a very, very famous line from Humphrey Bogart in this movie. I'm going to have to pick it up so I can read it to you. It says, "Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine." Because he was trying to forget Elsa. And here she comes with her husband, which did not make Rick too happy. But he was determined to help them get out of the country and to avoid the Nazis at the time. And this is just a little envelope that I made, and it says, "Delivered to Rick's American Cafe." And it has priority on the top of it. And of course, inside it says, "Passport for Ilsa and husband arranged." And so therefore, their little passport is arranged. And of course, on the back, the most famous saying of all, "Here's looking at you, kid." There's Humphrey Bogart and Ilsa, or I should say Rick and Ilsa, saying goodbye. There's a plane out in the distance, and her husband is waiting near the plane for her to come. Of course, they didn't kiss in this scene, but it was very, very, very striking scene, very emotional scene. And this is the end of the movie. I got those graphics off of the internet, off of Google Images. And of course, I think I showed this before on my video, but this is how I started out with the romance novels paper. I just didn't know how and what I wanted to do with it, so I made this little box. It's real cute. It's got a little closure there, and I guess that's about all I can say about this. I'm not the storyteller that Allenby is. She has these things probably coming right off of her head, but I'm a little bit too old. I really do have to type some of my words down before I get on here, or I will forget it. But anyhow, this is one of my little fancies that I did right there, and hung that on the side. And this is just some netting and some ribbon to decorate the side of the thing. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my little storybook from the romance novel, and I urge you all to try to look up the movie Casablanca, especially you gals that are very romantic in nature. You will really love this story. It is a classic movie that you will enjoy. Bye now. This is Miss Barb, and I'm signing off. Thank you for watching. And oh, by the way, I want to thank all my subbies that I have not written to. Thank you very much. Bye.